Hi, it's Adam here. I'd just like to say a couple of things about the difference between Western astrology and Vedic astrology, Jyotish, because I get a lot of inquiries about that. You will find examples of both kinds of astrology here on astrovedas.com, and many people are slightly confused about the difference between them, particularly if they've had a reading, and particularly the business about the different reference points, because often astrology is like, say, a cookbook, where in a cookbook it'll say make this sauce or make a dish with this base, and it kind of takes it for granted, and you think, well, how do I do that? You can't even get to kind of first base. So it's good to just go back over the nuts and bolts and explain a little bit about the differences which astrologers might know, but for a user it's actually useful to have a little bit more of a background about how the two systems work. Now, the foundation of Western astrology is that it's essentially based around the seasons. The sun comes to the point in the sky which is where the first degree of Aries starts, on or about the 21st of March every year. This is said to be the first day of Aries, the first day of spring, and this is the beginning of the zodiac wheel, the chain of the constellations that goes around the sun's apparent path around the earth. So when it gets to the first day of Aries, 21st of March, that's the beginning, that's the first day of spring, that's the start of the zodiac. For the first day of summer, on or about the 21st of July, that's the first day of Cancer. The first day of autumn, the autumn equinox, is the 21st of September, and the 21st of December is the winter solstice, the first day of Capricorn. So these cardinal points, so-called, form a kind of cross, and this is the reference point around which the Western astrology, the astrology that you may be more familiar with, revolves. So this is the kind of magazine astrology. What's your sign? I am a Leo, I'm a Pisces, I'm an Aquarius, I am this, I am that. That's based on the position of the sun in relation to the tropical zodiac, which, and again, the symbolism of the seasons also forms a backdrop to this. So you have like spring lambs, you have the height of summer, you have the depths of winter in Capricorn, and so on. This is part of the symbolism of the tropical zodiac. Now, this is all fine and well, except we know that this cross, this tropical cross, is not in fact fixed. Owing to fluctuations and actions upon this, these points are moving back slowly in relation to the fixed stars, incrementally about 1 degree every 72 years. And so over the centuries, over the course of history, the two zodiacs, the tropical zodiac and the sidereal zodiac, have moved out of whack by 24 degrees over the course of about 1800 years. Nobody disputes this. This is not some conspiracy theory that somebody's cooked up on the internet. This is a physical astronomical fact, and Vedic astrology by and large takes this movement into account. That's why the difference is that why very often your planets and signs will have moved back into the previous sign, and this explains it. And also zodiacal precession, which is the name for this phenomenon, takes into account, this explains the business about the age of Aquarius, so-called, because the Aries point, the first day of Aries, in fact, in terms of sidereal astrology, is now about 6 degrees of Pisces, and in another 300 years or so, this point will have moved back into the first stars of Aquarius. So effectively, in the 24th century, when the sun reaches the first day of Aries, the fixed stars of Aquarius will be behind it, and this, many people say, is a symptom of the new utopia. And even though Western astrologers don't use zodiacal precession, they would still like to invoke the symbolism of this and talk about the age of Aquarius, and also the previous ages back into prehistory, the age of Aries, the age of Taurus, the age of Bull, and the age of the Ram, and the symbolism associated with all these. So Western astrologers like to talk about this, but in fact, in terms of their charts, the vast majority of them don't use precession corrected positions. They don't use the correct sidereal placements in terms of charts, and many people say that this is what gives Vedic astrology its edge, and that once you become used to using its reference point in relation to the actual physical constellations, then you will get a more accurate picture, both in terms of character and destiny. So more about this to come, but that's just a little potted definition of one of the main differences that people confront between Western astrology and Vedic. And like I say, I'll be doing more videos on this and expanding more on this, so please watch this space. Thank you.